Jurgen, after all the talk, it's actually happened. You've taken your first training session under very different circumstances. How was it?
Brilliant, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. The weather is fantastic, and the boys are in really good spirits. So before the session, we had to give all the introduction and all the and what we have to make sure that all goes in line and all that stuff. For it was a short meeting. Then a little bit more about the targets and stuff like this, and then we started training, and that was really the best part for a while. I have to say, really good.
Give you, do you think you and the players just a real psychological boost just to be around each other and see each other? And you said how much you missed your boys.
Yes, true. So this morning when we have to come already changed, so I felt like a policeman, pretty much like wearing my uniform finally for the right reasons again, and that felt already pretty special. And then coming to Melbourne and see them all is just nice. So the first 10 players obviously were here now. We have 2 groups of 5 and train same time, different pitches, obviously far away from each other. No, it looks like football, and that's exactly what we want to do. Look, for the boys, they had the longest break ever with around 9 weeks. The international players have usually 2 weeks in summer and stuff like this. So it was like we need to get used to a lot of things again. But for the first impression was really, really positive.
You'd obviously been thinking about the training sessions, looking forward to seeing them, but it was only once you'd actually started training with them, it ticked a lot of things in your mind that, all is good, we can work with this.
Yeah, 100%. So in a moment, we know what we are allowed to do. So, but it's a range. You can do it in different ways. You have just to stick to the law if you want. That's no problem. We can do that in football. It's absolutely no problem. And but of course, for us, it's important what will happen in the next few days and weeks and stuff like this. How will it develop in the country and all these things. And so then we can do probably different things. But whenever, how we said, we prepare the future. When the future then will start, we don't know. But with the things we can do in training, with the setup, with the protocol from the Premier League is good. How our people fill it up is brilliant. So that's all exactly how it should be. And it's strange in some ways that you cannot have a shower, that you cannot use different things here. The toilet looks different, obviously, and all that stuff. But that's all, how I said, the time is a challenge for all of us. And this little thing for football is a challenge as well, to get used to different things. But in the end, that's how it is. We don't know when normality will start again. So we have to get used to the situation now. And we use the situation as well, as good as we can, because how everybody, as soon as possible, it's safe for you. You have to go back to work, that a society can function. And our part of the society is football. And so we try to get back to that. And so far, all good.
Did you sense the players felt that they are now very much in a safe environment? Because obviously they've been tested.
Oh, yes. That's their choice, so that's clear. I said that before the session. You are here on a free will. You sign a contract, and then you have to be in when I tell you. In this case, if you don't feel safe, you don't have to be here, and there's no restrictions, no punishment, nothing. So it's just, that's your own decision, and we will respect that with 100%. So the boys are all here in a moment. So we will see in the first group, 10 players were here. We will see in round about half an hour, the next session will start, and then another 10 players will be in, and then another 5 in the afternoon. So we will see if they all show up. But so far, of course, we know they all will show up, because otherwise they would have called us. And so the boys are fine. We would never put anybody in danger to do what we want to do. Yes, we love football, and yes, it's our job as well, but it's not more important than our life or the life of other people, for sure not. And so it's all good, how I said, for the moment. Absolutely.
How creative do you think you've got to be to do your best work with the current restrictions?
now we cannot play football with social distancing, obviously, but the first phase is absolutely possible, and then later on we have to go to the normal things we do in a football game. So, and you saw that now. I'm German, but I don't want to mention Germany all the time, but you saw it last weekend. There were proper football games. So, and there's intensity in the game. So because so far we only discuss about will we start, when we will start, and all that stuff. But in the moment when we start, finally, then there's real targets to achieve and things to fulfill. And for us, of course, for other teams as well, fighting for the Champions League, staying in the league, and all that stuff. So that gives the game the intensity. So, but we have to be as creative as possible in the moment, because a preseason usually starts different. First and foremost, when you have a preseason, when you start with a preseason, you know when the season starts. We don't know that in the moment, so that's of course different. But then on the other side, we are not allowed to do a couple of things we would usually do in the first few sessions. But again, take the situation like it is and make the best of it. That's our job most of the time, this time specifically. And we do that. And nobody will moan about the things we can do in training. So that's all fine, because we just needed to start, because we prepare a body for physical work, and we cannot start yesterday and then start playing tomorrow. That doesn't work. So we need time to get match fit, and that's what we do in the moment. And in the moment when they decided that the league will start there, then all the teams had the same time, and that's another challenge. Good. So who did best is then the question, and we will see when we can start.
As you say, we don't know when you're going to start. They're talking about possibly June 12th, possibly June the 19th. From what little you've seen, are you confident that you'll be in good enough shape to start then?
Not now, but then we will be in the best shape we can be in that moment. So we will see. How I said, that's always like, you know, that from pre-seasons that managers usually say we don't know exactly where we stand in this moment, so we need maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 games for to know more about our situation. Now the challenge is we all have to be ready for the first game, so whenever it will be. And that's interesting. How I said, our game is for different reasons always different. So it means you never have the same game again. And you never have the same situation again, because everything is perfect for a second. Then you have injured players, so you have to adapt to that and all that stuff. And now it's a situation we don't know. All of us don't know when we will start. In the moment, the earlier they can tell us, the better it is, of course. But we will not say, if we don't know that, we cannot do this or that. For all the teams, it's the same. And that makes a competition. If all the teams have the same circumstances, then you have a proper competition. And that's exactly what we prepare for, without knowing when it will start.
Well, it's great to talk to you and see you again, Jurgen. It's a really positive step to be back in training today. But just lastly, there's one question. I was genuinely surprised at you. You are somebody who's very alert, who keeps an eye on football all around the world, who really, really knows his stuff. Yet it took you until lockdown to realise that Gary Neville has an opinion on absolutely everything. How did you not know this? Welcome to our world.
Yeah, sorry. No, I usually don't watch that kind of stuff. And now in lockdown, I had obviously too much time, and I watch a lot, and I read, and when you open newspapers, there's pretty much whatever. They have just. I don't think it's his fault. If you get asked a lot of questions, you have to give a lot of answers. So, but yes, I realize that in this time more than ever before. So, but yeah. Hopefully we can fill the newspapers in the future again with some different stuff, and then he has a bit more time off. So I would wish it for him at least.
I think we would echo all that as his colleagues. But it's great to see you, Jurgen, and good to see you back in training as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.